Since the day I began bodybuilding, I have stressed deltoid development in my workouts because I consider this to be one of the most important muscle groups to any competitive bodybuilder. On stage, you can pose to hide poor development in almost any muscle group except the deltoids and calves. These two body parts are vividly visible in every pose. To have outstanding deltoid development, you must first have a high degree of muscle mass, with that mass balanced equally between the three deltoid heads, anterior, medial, and posterior. Too many bodybuilders overdevelop their anterior deltoids, neglecting the posterior sections almost completely. And then they wonder why they lose competitions. This happens largely because the frontal heads of the deltoids are strongly stimulated by most chest exercises, but particularly the incline press. In addition to having size and balance, the deltoid must be ripped to shreds. I don't mean just having separations between each head. I'm talking about having every possible striation within each head of the deltoid boldly visible. To bring out this degree of muscularity for competition, I diet very strictly and use the isotension contraction principle, flexing my deltoids very hard for 15 to 20 seconds at a time and in a variety of positions. To make the best gains, I use a wide variety of exercises in my deltoid routines. I actually change my workouts every training day, which keep my muscles from getting accustomed to any particular exercise or routine, and as a result, failing to grow. My good friend and training partner Arnold Schwarzenegger taught me this technique, which is called confusion principle. You should give it a try because it's the best way to keep your muscles growing at an optimal rate. Here are 3 deltoid routines I used 1 week while I was training at the World Gym in Santa Monica, California for the IFBB Pro Mr. Universe competition last fall. Routine A. 1. Alternate front dumbbell raise. 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps. Supersetted with 2 side laterals, 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps. 3. Seated bent laterals, 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps. 4. Seated military press, 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps. 5. Cable side laterals, 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps. Routine B. 1. Side laterals, 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps, supersetted with 2. Seated press behind the neck, 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps. 3. Standing bent laterals, 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps. 4. Barbell upright rowing, 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps. 5. Cable side laterals, 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps. Routine C. Cable side laterals, 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps, supersetted with 2 cable bent laterals, 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps. 3. Dumbbell presses, 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps. 4. Cable barbell raise, 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps. 5. Cable upright rowing, 5 sets, 10 to 12 reps. I use many other types of routines for my deltoids too. Sometimes I'll even do trisets, the most common one being front raises to side raises to rear laterals done on a pec deck machine. Use as much imagination as possible when planning your deltoid workouts. Be sure to include at least one exercise for each head. And if one aspect of your deltoids is lagging behind the rest, double up on the sets for the weak part. 3 or 4 weeks before a contest, I examine my deltoids from every angle, then adapt my routines to hit any lagging part with ferocity. I can actually improve any muscular weakness in my body by as much as 20% in 3 to 4 weeks by focusing all my mental and physical energies on it. Be very careful to concentrate on each muscle group as you train it because your mind can account for 50% of the progress you make in bodybuilding. I can concentrate so fully on a working muscle that I don't even feel the weight in my hands, just the muscle contracting and extending. And when I do overhead presses, I feel only my frontal deltoids working, not my triceps, which are pushing just as hard as the deltoids. While I use rather heavy weights in all my deltoid exercises, I don't think the weight is as important as how I do each movement. I'm very careful to use strict form in all of my reps. Even the last one in each set, I always use continuous tension principle. You wouldn't believe how long it takes me to grind out the final rep in most of my sets. It probably requires more than 10 seconds for me to pull or push the weight to its finished position and 10 more to return it to the starting point because I fight its return to emphasize the negative half of each movement. It's excruciatingly painful, but that's the rep that makes me a champion. Because I use heavy weights in my workouts, I am careful to warm up thoroughly before every shoulder training session. If I didn't, I would sooner or later suffer a joint or muscle injury. I usually do 2 or 3 light supersets of upright rows and military presses using the same barbell for each exercise and doing 15 to 20 reps per set. I also spend about 5 minutes stretching my deltoid muscles by doing dislocates and other movements while holding a towel. I believe that stretching is essential if you expect to achieve maximum development in any muscle group. The deltoid routines I presented earlier in this article are the pre-contest routines I used last fall. I did them 3 times a week with my tricep workouts as part of my double split routine. At home in Stuttgart, Germany, during the off-season when I must put in at least 8 hours a day on my job in the post office, I don't have time for such extensive training programs. So during the off-season, I usually train my deltoids only twice a week and do only about 15 total sets for the muscle group. Also, I tend to use heavier training weights and perform lower reps in each set during the off-season. All my training routines would be far too intense for most bodybuilders, but I'd like to give the readers of Muscle and Fitness 3 excellent shoulder routines. Beginner level: 1. Military press, 3 sets, 6 to 10 reps. 2. Upright rowing, 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps. Intermediate level: 1. Press behind neck, 3 sets, 6 to 10 reps. 2. Side laterals, 2 to 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps. 3. Bent laterals, 2 to 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps. Advanced level: 1. Side laterals, 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps, supersetted with 2. Press behind neck, 3 sets, 6 to 10 reps. 3. Bent laterals, 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps. 4. Upright rowing, 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps. If you work hard and consistently, never miss a training session on these programs, you will soon develop fairly good deltoids, and within a few years, you should be winning contests. In conclusion, I'd like to remind North American promoters that I'll be on their side of the Atlantic during August, September, and October, training under Joe Weider's tutelage for the Mr. Olympia contest. Although my English isn't quite good enough for me to conduct training seminars, I would enjoy the chance to guest pose at shows in Canada and the United States. I'll be in very good condition and my fees are reasonable. Interested promoters should contact my friend Bill Reynolds at this magazine.